Teaching number 178. People, every time a new year begins, I hear your questions in this way: Lord, will this year also be a test for us? To which I answer that life is a continuous test, but you should not be afraid, because if you know how to watch and pray, you will have success in your restitution until you arrive at your destiny. These trials in which humanity lives, are the fruits that have come to reap. They are the results of their own sowing, harvests that are sometimes the consequences of seeds sown the previous year, or at other times the fruits of what they sowed years ago or in other incarnations. A new year begins. Well then, do what good sowers do, who first clean their seeds while waiting for the right time to deposit them on fertile ground. As so, cleanse your hearts beforehand, that from your good deeds you may reap for tomorrow, a good harvest of peace, love and satisfaction. Have you seen the harmony in which all of creation lives? Does it not seem to you that among all that exists and all of the creatures there is love? Look at the sun. It appears like a father who is opening his arms to embrace all his children, a caress of life, love, light and energy. The birds sing and all the beings carry on, offering their tribute of gratitude and love to the King Star. It is a beautiful example of how you must harmonize with everything that surrounds you in this natural world, with everything that is spiritual. Your happiness depends on the understanding that you reach of these teachings, and thus, your obedience to the laws that govern the universe. This joy of which some believe does not exist on earth and others have come to think that only I possess in abundance, actually manifests itself as peace within your spirit. Now you know, O people, that your happiness is within yourselves, so that you teach men that in the depths of their being, where they believe that they only carry bitterness, hatred and resentment, remorse and tears, there is a light that nothing can extinguish, which is the light of the Spirit. Humanity has taken its steps along crooked paths, inheriting a generation of errors from previous generations and increasing its errors as time passes. This humanity is now reaping the fruit of the seed of pain it sowed in the world yesterday, just as future generations will reap the fruit of what is sown today. Why not channel your beliefs, struggles, sciences, ideals and desires through the only path of justice, which my doctrine points out to you? When will men come to recognize the truth of my word? My law, immutable and eternal, stands before men, pointing out the path to true happiness, a path that leads to the fields where, sowing good, the harvest of peace is reaped. Blessed are those who have felt my call in the depths of their hearts and have come to listen to the divine lesson, because with its essence they will increase their knowledge, they will be a bulwark among their own people, and they will know how to sustain themselves with faith in trials. I come to separate everything that is vain in you, so that your works may be pleasing before the Father. In this school of Christ there have been many initiates who, upon arriving before the Master of all wisdom, have said, Lord, if you are Christ who teaches this path and discovers in each one of us the mission and the gifts that each one of us possess, grant us the fulfillment of our destiny, so that we may reach you. Then I have appointed you your inheritance, I have given you commands and I have made you laborers. But in truth I tell you that I do not have privileged ones among my children, because everyone who approaches me with the desire to serve me, will receive my grace in his heart. But the moment will also come when everything you have done with the gifts entrusted to you will be judged by me, and you will have to answer to me. I do not yet come to ask you for an accounting, because you are still trying to apply my law to the works of your life and you are too immature to bear the judgment. However, each one of you must be a zealous guardian of my teaching, that compliance will not hinder you from also carrying out the obligations of your world. See those who have despised this heritage, sadness and emptiness exists in them, but my mercy is great and is manifested by forgiving them. The ones who have fulfilled their duty, it is fair that they feel my peace, and the ones who have not, I touch through their conscience to keep them awake, so that the supreme instant of death does not surprise their spirits naked of good works, because without they could not rise. Take my teaching from heart to heart. When your brothers receive it, some will say, this word contains prophecy, others will judge it as a teaching of little importance, and while some will judge it to be advanced, others will judge it to be very backward. Each one will interpret it according to their spiritual capacity and the clarity and purity of their works. Be humble, so that you may be a living example before humanity, that my work may be recognized. But do not show yourselves humble only in the moment in which you listen to me, but in all your life, so that you can persuade your brothers, because the only word will not convince. Prepare yourselves to be examples and even for sacrifice. If you love me, go and forgive whoever has offended you. If you love me, go to the bedside of the sick or to the cell of the convict, comfort them and pray with them. Then your love will break down any pride you may have harbored. My word is a warning voice, because while you are with me, you are like meek lambs, but when you return to your ways you tear yourselves apart and deny yourselves forgiveness. The time of complacency has passed and you will have to get out of your stagnation, to achieve greater evolution of your spirit. Recover the white garment of spirituality, so that when you speak of my word to men, you do so with the innocence of a child. Then you will not be afraid to speak of my work, because your works and your life will speak for you. My word through the voice bearers is essentially the same. To each in the community I speak according to their ability to understanding and hold on to what I communicate. Today, as a new year begins, from its first hours you have gathered your forces to continue in the fight. You have told me that your purpose is to rise up like the good sower who deposits the seed in the prepared furrow, with the desire to reap an abundant harvest at the end of the work. That seed is the word of light that you are going to sow in the hearts of your brothers. You will have to face the world, the wisdom of man, because those who have prepared themselves will fight you, and if you were not firm in your faith, you will be defeated. I have not come to fill your understanding with science to make you contend with the scientists. I have come to illuminate your spirit, so that it penetrates into the unfathomable through elevation and inspiration. No one can say that what you have received in this time you already knew, because many of the lessons that I have given you in this time through human understanding, are the new revelations. You are going to talk about the spirit, about its immortality, because it has been granted eternal life. But for you to speak of these revelations, you will first have to feel them, then you can call yourselves my disciples. A spiritualist is not the one who only enters these chambers where I give you my word. A spiritualist is the one who prays spiritually and rises from anywhere. A spiritualist is the one who strives for the perfection of his spirit and also the one who lives to mitigate the pain of others. Understand that the spiritualist can be found everywhere. He will be known more for his actions than for his word. That is why I always tell you, be an example of love, humility, and charity. Note that not everyone who calls himself a spiritualist is. I have simplified your practice and your worship without giving you new laws. I made you understand that the adoration of my divinity through images was imperfect and that you should abandon all fanaticism. Do you know that the strength of your God has no limitations to reach you? Have I not told you that when you pray, I descend into your heart to give it life? Have I not taught you that when you are clean in heart and spirit, I come to dwell within you? You could not have lived this era of light before, because the little evolution you had would not have allowed it, but now that you live it and contemplate it, it seems the most natural thing to feel the fulfillment of the prophecies. In the same way, men of science have discovered wonders and have made advances that you previously thought impossible. Why should you not understand that all these great things are due to the grace of their Lord? Spiritualism teaches and invites men to find me in their own paths, because I am manifested in everything as creator, as force, as life, perfection and harmony. And who can maintain that harmony in the universe but God? That God has no form, and you should not imagine it through limited figures, because when you leave this world, you would find yourself with a reality that you could not understand. My teaching is not only knowledge, it is a caress and it is also a consolation. My charity extends to all those who suffer, to those who are shedding tears, to those who are enduring injustice. It comforts the mother and the wife, cares for the maiden, strengthens the young man, and sustains the old man. It comes to kindle the light of hope for that ineffable joy that awaits you all. In this age I pour out my grace on you, so that you continue on the path of light, that there never be pain or weakness strong enough to separate you from it. In your spirit there is already anxiety to reach your true homeland, your Father's realm of peace. Here you have purified yourselves in the crucible of the struggle, in the vicissitudes and trials, but I tell you, go with firmness and resignation until the end, because if there is no patience in you, you will prolong the journey. As long as this existence lasts, it is transitory and fleeting next to the spiritual life that is imperishable. Feel the greatness of life that I promise you, so that you do not fear losing that body that you love so much. I will ensure that all the beings that inhabited this earth recognize each other in the hereafter, that they may love each other and live in peace. Then you will understand the reason for the existence that you left with all its bitterness and trials sometimes incomprehensible to man. Spiritual life is so close to you that sometimes it is enough for you to close the eyes of your body and open the vision of the spirit to be able to contemplate the wonders of that kingdom. You are so close to the spiritual valley that an instant can be enough to pass from this world to that. At all times I have spoken of these revelations to men through my prophets, who have testified of my truth. At this time I speak to you of the only path that leads to my kingdom, and I do it through men and women prepared by my charity. See that you are not alone in this life. If you lived with spirituality, you could contemplate and feel the spiritual realm very close to you. Let the truth and the greatness of that realm be reflected in all the acts of your life. Always dedicate the moments of your purest thought to the Father who is in heaven, so that you arrive firmly and illuminated by the light of your conscience at the time when you enter into direct communion with my spirit, which will be after 1950, when you no longer listen to me in this form. Without elevation you will not be able to reach the communion of your spirit with your Creator. Make your desire to elevate yourself to me and also consecrate to me some of the time you still live on earth, so that the transition step to the beyond is easy for your spirit. See how hearing me has come to harmonize your senses, heart and spirit. When matter and spirit have deeply meditated on the future, one knows and accepts its end, the other rejoices contemplating the endless horizon that appears before his eyes. But, who can measure the spiritual distance you have to travel to reach the goal of your perfection, which is me? Who can know at least the time marked on the clock of eternity to leave his body on earth? Live ready, watch and pray. Accumulate merits and you will not have troubles, because when you leave matter, your spirit will flap its wings and know how to fly, like the little birds when they leave the nest to take their first flight. You must not be saddened by the thought of renunciations. Only the materialist yearns and suffers remembering the satisfactions of this life. Do not be materialistic, worry about what touches your spirit, without abandoning the attention that you owe to your human part. Understand that everything is prepared for your recreation. Whoever wants to eat this delicacy of love, sit at my table and savor it like the angels. You have not come by chance, you have been led by me to witness my manifestations. I have found many of you dead to spiritual life and my word has raised you up. Today you breathe life and there is hope in your heart. I receive everyone, those who have faith and those who do not believe. To men of various religions and sects I say, blessed are those who believe in my word. If you want to perceive my inspiration and translate it into thoughts and words, prepare yourselves, you can all be my interpreters. The Father wants to be understood by his children, and that is why he has come to invite you to enter the spiritual temple. Seek me with a clean heart, always listening to the voice of your conscience, and I truly tell you that very soon you will find me. Before your spirit takes flight, I will have come to you to take you to that mansion of peace that I have promised you, but it is necessary that you know the path that leads to me. Your path is traced towards spirituality. To climb to the top, you must pray and work. I still do not contemplate among the peoples of the earth the holy aspiration to become spiritual. Materialism has not reached the limit allowed by me, but the end of that stage is near. Then you will anxiously seek to return to the practice of love and charity to work with merits the elevation of your spirit. The darkness that forms from sin and confusion will be dispelled and the true law will illuminate all beings. I am granting you great visions that tell you about the future, so that you come to analyze them and be prepared. Testify this to your brothers, but the time will come when men of different races and diverse peoples see my signs in infinity, and this will be a consolation for some and a happy fulfillment for others who will see the fulfillment of my word. My teaching contains all the spiritual knowledge you could wish for. In your spirit you will find the experiences that you have collected through your path of evolution, and they will serve you to find spiritual progress if you know how to prepare. You raise with your prayer a song that reaches me. You offer me your struggle in my work, and you hope that the seed you have cultivated will be good and pleasing to me, and I bless you. You are spreading my seed in the blessed lands, because you know that the goods that I have given you are not only for you, but they also belong to your brothers. In that fight I have not asked you for sacrifices, only for compliance with the law, that you live as my children and manifest the virtues of which I have made you possessors. Be clean vessels inside and out, so that you may be filled with divine perfection. Sometimes I have seen in you protests and disagreements with your destiny. The temporary life that you have on earth does not satisfy you, and the Master tells you, the true home of the Spirit is in the beyond. Today be patient, endure the trials with strength and comply with my law within this stage. Make bad times good, and when you hear rumors of war and destruction, pray and do not be involved in them, do not cause division. These and many calamities are unleashed, doing the work of purification upon humanity, but this is for the good and evolution of the spirits. After this great battle that the Spirit wages, a better world awaits you, and you will have reached a higher level where you will rest from your fatigue. Open your spiritual eyes and contemplate the time in which you are living, and thus you will be able to confirm my words of the second era, which announced great trials to humanity. Everything has been fulfilled as written. Rise up, practice my doctrine with purity, and do not forget that I have told you that the contest is universal, that the Spirit fights not only on earth, but also in other valleys. Help with your examples those legions of disembodied spirits who live materialized. Feel how they approach asking for prayer and advice, do not reject them, help them to come out of their state of confusion, influence them with your charity before they influence you. And those who because of your love, reach the light of my teaching, full of gratitude, will become your advocates and will help you in your fulfillment. Everything will unfold within my laws of love and justice. Love yourselves all in me, even though you inhabit different spiritual planes. Forgive one another also. Strive with all the strength of your spirit to reach the fulfillment of your destiny, according to your determination, so you will allow your virtue to be manifested, and you will be able to test your faith with words and deeds of love. In this era, as in the second era, the Master appears among his disciples, and seeing such simplicity and humility among them, grants them the grace to listen to his word. Remember, that every work will come to me when it is grounded in my law. My law is the good seed that you have received from me, which you will deposit in the hearts of your brothers and in the hearts of your children. There are hearts that have lit up before my call like torches of faith and persevere in my work. In your struggles you have overcome temptation many times, encouraged by the ideal that my doctrine flourish among humanity. I come to illuminate your spirit with my wisdom, so that when you find someone who does not believe in your faith, you give him convincing proof that you know the truth and at the same time help him to believe. They will ask you if you consider yourselves to be prophets and if you have power over the Spirit, and they will put you to the test like they did with Elijah in the first era. You will give them proof, but for this it will be essential that you have faith at that hour, comply with my law and submit to my will. Here is the Master speaking through the human mind, which is the image of divine intelligence, a gift that I have placed in the most perfect creature that inhabits the earth, mankind. How can you doubt that I communicate in this way, if I am manifested in each one of you? The wisdom that emanates from this word is the infinite horizon that I open before the Spirit so that you may know the truth and through it feel supreme happiness. Whoever opens his eyes will not be able to look for me any more through the forms created by his own hand, because he will be the one who, through his elevation, is inspired and communicates with my divinity. It is necessary for you to learn to detach yourself from matter at the moment of your elevation, so that the instants that your spirit spends in the beyond serve to enlighten and strengthen you, so you can always find the path of evolution and mark it for those who do not know it. I come to empower you to bear witness to these revelations. Today I tell you that you must not only fight to save your spirit but also that of your brothers, with which humanity will see my word fulfilled, which teaches you to love one another. Much of what you ask of me I grant you. But if you ask me to change your destiny, I truly tell you that I would not grant it to you, because your destiny, the one that speaks to you of virtue, of perfection, of love, is written by me. The one who was created to be a farmer in my lands, will have to sow in them, and the seed will be of faith, love and goodwill. Drink from this source, O thirsty spirits who are looking for the light without finding it. Feel this joyful peace that your heart does not know, and when you have felt it, deduce who it is that is speaking to you, then you will no longer have the need to ask why I have come again to men, because you will carry the answer within yourselves. If there were no ignorance in the world, if blood did not flow, if pain and misery did not exist, there would be no reason for my spirit to materialize, becoming perceptible to your senses, but you need me. I know that only my love can save you in these moments, and that is why I have come. If I did not love you, what would it matter if you lost yourselves, and what would your pain matter? But I am your Father, a Father who feels within himself the pain of his Son, because each son is a particle of him. That is why I come to give you, in each one of my words and inspirations, the light of truth that life represents for the Spirit. Your heart beats hurriedly listening to this word, and you have been about to shout to bless my name, but it has not been necessary for your lips to express the emotion that overwhelms your spirit, because beforehand I already knew of the joy that, when hearing me, you were going to have. I am your Master, the same one whom the world immolated in the second era and who now comes towards men with the same love. I am the one who, dying on the cross, felt an infinite thirst for love, and instead of water, which would have been a form or proof of charity on the part of men, received gall and vinegar on his lips, as a manifestation of contempt, mockery, and of ignorance. But I come to reproach humanity for nothing. On the contrary, I bring you a new message that will uplift you, making you feel the much-needed peace of mind. I'm thirsty, I said at that hour. I thirst, I tell you again, thirst for your love, thirst for feeling close to my Spirit, thirst for you to love one another. You also thirst, pain burns your heart, and you desperately need the freshness of spiritual water. You need faith, hope, consolation, and peace to come to mitigate your thirst of the Spirit, of the heart, and of the mind. Do you ask for strength? Take it. Do you need balm? Receive it. Do you have a serious problem? I give you the solution. Do you present your poverty to me? Take the tools to work for your daily bread. Do you have bitterness? Cry and dry your tears on my mantle, feel my caress and rise to life with new strength. From this day start a new life. I will rejoice in your triumphs and help you overcome obstacles. Again I tell you, I am the way, the truth, and the life. My peace be with you.